Unit rally. We would like to first thank the police department and fire department for being here with us today. Today we are gathering in response to the tragedy at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. As a community, we hope to raise awareness about the importance of unity, kindness, and collaboration to help make a world a better, safer place. And we will emphasize the importance of our generation getting actively involved to make the change we'd like to see in our world. To honor the memory of those who lost their lives in Parkland, Florida, we'll now ask that you observe a moment of silence. Thank you. And to remember these individuals who passed away, we will read each of their names.
Elena Petty, Meadow Pollock,
Martin Duke Anguiato and Nicholas Duaret, Joaquin Oliver,
Gina Montalto,
Peter Wayne,
Davey Gutenberg and Aaron Feist,
Alex Schachter and Carmen Shentro, Kara Logren,
Alyssa Aladef and Scott Feigl,
Elena Ramsey,
Chris Hickson and Luke Hoyer,
Next, please give your attention to some students who would like to say a few words and share their thoughts.
Florida has been nothing but piles upon piles of stress. It is one thing to grieve and show love for the victims of the shooting, but it is another to be completely engulfed with it until we no longer feel safety in the walls of our school. In times like this, we need to constantly remind ourselves of how to bring back our sense of security, community, and trust. Look at what we have done today. While many schools have completely banned or threatened punishment for participation in this walkout, honoring the lives lost in the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High, we have created this beautiful event for and by our students with the support of our wonderful staff. With the state of the world right now, sometimes we cannot convince ourselves that we are completely safe. However, the truth is that right now we are. We are a school full of love, protection, and support, not just from the staff, but from every student here as well. Collingswood is full of people who look out for each other. We all look to be kind, to do our best. We are a school that will speak up for what we believe in, and we will support each other on the way. All of us here have voices, and we will use them to not only make a change in the world, but to ensure that events like this never happen again. Now is the time to speak up. Now is the time to embrace the love that we have all worked hard to show. Don't be afraid. We are the voices of the generation, and our demand for safety and love will be heard.
My job for this rally was to speak about unity. I sat down to write my speech and came up with the things that all of you might expect. That gun control is a very divisive issue, but the two sides have to come together to come up with a compromise. What I eventually figured out, and what I think everyone needs to realize, is that that isn't going to work. Americans are, historically, an incredibly stubborn group of people, and you're kidding yourself if you think that you can get a far-right NRA member to support heavy gun control, or some liberal millennial to go against it. If there is one simple truth that everyone can unite on, it is that something must be done in order to prevent school shootings. Each side is constantly proposing new solutions, but the problem is that none ever seem to gain any ground. Take what is happening now. Florida just passed gun control legislation, an unexpected move from a state that has historically opposed it, only to immediately be sued by the NRA. There's this constant push and pull back and forth that doesn't let anything get done. This is not a simple issue, and the solution to stopping school shootings is not going to be easy or happen right away, but arguing is not going to get us any closer to that solution. We can debate back and forth all we want about what we think is going to be the most effective, but we'll never know for sure until we try it. Whether it is allowing gun control measures to be carried out even if you disagree with them, or supporting solutions that are found elsewhere, Stopping school shootings should be more important than political agenda. If we are not united in beliefs, then we must become united in action. Look at what we're doing here. With this rally, we show that we are united with other students across the country, not just in remembering the victims, but in demanding action. We are here to send the message that we demand an end to school shootings. Whether it's tomorrow or next month or years from now, we will be the generation united in action to see it happen.
Think of us as the young generation that hasn't yet grown up. But this world is just as much ours as anyone else's that is here. And its future is more ours than anyone else's here. And so, even though we're young, we have no choice but to become involved in our future. If you are going to be 18 by November, then you have to register to vote for the midterm elections. Mr. Fieldman has voter registration forms in his office, and you can register to vote online. And if you're not going to be old enough to vote, then you can still contact senators or representatives and tell them that we're not going to go silent, and that if they do, then they will not have a job for very long. So please, regardless of how old you are, just get involved in some way. Contact representatives, or if you are old enough, vote.
I would like to start off by saying that we all know and understand how hard our school is working to keep us safe. Knowing that, we should all understand that the power we need for change is outside of the school's authority. That only leaves one other option, the students. Now, usually, students like you and I don't have to come to school every day worrying about violence. Usually, I don't watch the news, but now we have to because every other day it seems like there's a new mass shooting where politicians aren't being shot, our parents aren't being shot, the NRA isn't being shot. It's the children at schools, students like us, who have to worry about this violence. So no, I cannot make a speech that will make everyone happy because this issue is bigger than me and it is bigger than you. Our voices must be heard, and no one is going to hear our voice if we wait for our school to become another statistic. Instead, I have a message for you, the school and this country. We will not stand by while the schools of America get attacked. We will not let our voices get silenced because we are young. This movement to keep guns out of school is our movement, and we will put an end to violence because no one else can.
Try to rid our community of the stigma around mental disorders. I just want to make one thing clear. Not all school shooters have mental disorders, and not all people with mental disorders are dangerous.
First things first, it's not an illness. You cannot catch depression. We're talking about everything from autism, bipolar disorders, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and even addiction.
The vast majority of those with these disorders are not driven to commit violent crimes.
Believe it or not, 60% of Americans actually believe that people diagnosed with schizophrenia are dangerous. In reality, less than 1.5% of all violent crimes committed in the U.S. are related to schizophrenia. The truth is, 80% of all violent crimes are connected to substance abuse.
Mental disorders and those affected by them are not the cause of violent crimes in the United States. Knowing that, I hope that we can all start to accept people no matter what, and not make assumptions based on something as trivial as a mental disorder.
Instead of judging people and assuming the worst, we need to be there for each other and help our peers who might be struggling with their own mental health and don't know how to help themselves.
In the end, it all comes down to seeing those who need help in our community and educating them and advocating for them for their needs and preventing any type of tragedy. It is time for us to unify as students, as a community, and as a country.
Here to remember those who have lost their lives in the recent shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida.
These kind of tragic events that take place in the world have got to stop.
One of the first steps to preventing these tragic events is to be kind.
We all joke about the school slogan, #BeKind, but it can really make a difference.
Every day that I enter in the school, I make it a point to smile at someone I don't know, or say hello to someone I've never had a conversation with.
It's the little things that can make a huge difference in someone's life. So the next time you're in the hallway and see a kid who's by themselves and looking down at the ground, say hi, make them feel wanted, and make them feel like someone actually cares.
We are the generation that can make change. Our school is full of potential and full of students who will be voting very soon.
The power is in our hands. Let's use it to make the world a safer place.
Today, 17 innocent lives were lost in one of the worst school shootings in American history. It's extremely difficult to grasp that in a matter of minutes, 17 people were lost. We are gathered here today in support of the families and friends of the victims of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. It is hard for me to stand here before you and talk about such a topic. 14 students who had the rest of their lives ahead of them were lost in seconds. 3 men died as heroes as they protected other people, and their legacy will live on as heroes. There will never be a day where we won't remember the victims of this shooting as courageous. We agreed that I wouldn't speak about political issues, and there are many discussions that need to take place, and many viewpoints that need to be heard. However, we don't have time to go into them today. I challenge you to not let this rally be the end of your discussions and debates. Let this be the beginning of our movement. Obviously, there needs to be a change, and we can be the generation to make that change. No matter what your view on the issues are, if we join in unity to help make our country safer, we will become a better nation. Gandhi once said, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." We can be the change we wish to see if we work together and try to make a difference. Thank you.
I came up here formally not preparing a speech, but I just wanted to say that though we have lost 17 innocent, beautiful lives, it has inspired hope and change in this community. We have all come together to be better people. And if we take care of the people inside of our circle, inside of our lives, then we can make the community slowly better. So I think that if we prohibit ourselves from feeling that people are dangerous because they're quiet and you know, putting those stereotypes behind mental illness, then we can come together better. We can't just look at someone and instantly judge them. We can't be suspicious of that one quiet kid in the corner and feel scared. We are all people. We are all human. We have hearts. We have lives. And protecting each other and being safe is the main goal. And it's been horrible but amazing, the fact that, like, not the event, but just how we have come together. And I think that's what we have to take out of this, coming together.
Thank you to all of our speakers. Also this Friday, please wear green to school to continue showing our unity.